Welcome to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about smart nonsense, baby.
I hurt my finger playing hockey
Voice crack.
last night.
We are probably on like 10 days in a row on season. What season is this? 7?
Yeah.
September 26th, 2024.
We're stuck in the Azores for about half that. So
Yeah.
I don't
It was helpful, actually, to get the momentum back to start this season of the podcast.
Absolutely.
Brought to you by Clip.co, where you go for video.
CEO immediately turns it corporate. Wow. No, that's great, dude. We're selling like hotcakes. So fucking gasoline on the fire. That's what I say.
Well, you got any threads, or you want me to kick things off? What do you want? Your show,
Well,
but
I
it's
teed
my
you up
show
with
now.
gasoline. We're selling like hotcakes. You don't want to be like, oh yeah, we're fucking CeraVe, big dick.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go. So
Yeah.
since yesterday, where did we kind of leave off? We had a lot of balls in the air, right?
And we were juggling yesterday.
We were at clown school yesterday on the pod. We've graduated in some ways, and I woke up this morning. So we're talking on the pod yesterday about how it's kind of slow to get into these companies, but I think if you do good work and you're easy to work with, you can kind of infiltrate. And did I say yesterday, like, we're working on ad campaign number 2 with CeraVe, and they came to us with this super important number 3?
Yeah,
Dude,
I don't
talk
know
about
if you mentioned
clown
that.
school. We got balloons going, like,
Yeah,
balloons.
That, and it's for the CEO, so it's now higher
Oh,
priority.
We thought it was for the CEO of CeraVe. I was
like
walking
$1 billion brand, maybe a couple $billion
Right.
brand.
Which I use, sponsored by. I was walking the dog yesterday. Your friend at CeraVe, who is like head of creative, who got our foot in the door, texted me personally about this pitch we did that he really liked, the team really liked, and he texted me like, yeah, this is going to be a big opportunity to get in front of Hieronymus. Some like Count Dracula-esque, like Hieronymus. Like, this could cause huge waves inside of CeraVe. And I'm like, Hieronymus right now? And I do a quick Google, Hieronymus CeraVe. First page that comes up is a LinkedIn post. I click on it. Lo and behold, you've got freaking Hieronymus. Hieronymus's bio, CEO of L'Oreal.
The umbrella.
The umbrella.
He's Mary Poppins.
Wait,
dude. You found Mary
CeraVe.
Poppins.
I found CeraVe was it CeraVe that's like a Fortune 500 or?
I think L'Oreal is.
Was it
CeraVe is
L'Oreal?
just a couple. I think there are a couple B's behind CeraVe, and then L'Oreal has like fucking couple dozen brands under them. So that's why the master, Mary Poppins, is the one in the 500.
That's why this campaign is so much more important than I even thought. It's because CEO of L'Oreal is flying to CeraVe November 1st, and they want to blow his mind.
Right. And we're in charge of blowing his mind. And how do we do that? We do that on a brainstorm session with me, you, and Jack yesterday. We're like, okay,
We're tired. It's early.
We want to compare CeraVe to competitors. How do we do that? And we're like, you ever watch The Bachelor? Or you ever do the Billy Mays fucking
infomercial?
Flex Seal? What's that called? Flex Seal? Or like Titanic. We're just pitching like the dumbest ideas possible, and trying to weave that into their narrative. And then we send it over, and I guess it was
Well, so yes, dumb, but also one of our main principles was like, let's look for stuff that's already viral. Yeah. Let's not reinvent the wheel and just apply it to the story we want to tell.
Right. And like pop culture is the perfect example because it's like everyone recognized it, already viral. So we're just latching onto that. Versus
what Alan texted me is actually funny.
And I don't want to bring up the Chinese parable again because we all know how that went. If you were here last episode,
for the newcomers, this episode. No, don't bring it up.
It's just basically you never know if something's good or bad because it can go either way. We had a bad where we made a boo-boo and said something public about a friend, this friend we're talking about. He wasn't too happy, so you texted him apologizing, but now you're friends in text, and now he's texting you all the inside scoop details,
which
so,
is fantastic.
very nice.
Why did I bring up the text? Oh, because he said something funny about our pitch. So you're saying like we're kind of just three dummies in a remote Zoom room, kind of launching an ad agency on accident and coming up with funny, semi-funny ads. CeraVe really liked our pitch, which we put in really shitty Google Doc slides.
Well, have
Google
you seen
Slides.
theirs?
You don't gotta go negative. Positive horse. Their slides are really bad. Really bad. There's like a lot going on the slide. That's the thing, dude.
Oh.
If you're trying to communicate something, one thing, just do one thing,
your slides
maybe a bullet
really
point or
good.
two. It's
was
like
so simple.
Title of the ad, picture, 2 bullet points for the premise. Their slides are like, they got different fonts going on. They got arrows, spaghetti slides, but that's not, come on. I didn't mean to go down a
European
negative. Yeah.
Company.
Not anyone we work with. Okay, so Alan texted something funny after our dumb brainstorm and slides that they liked, and he's like, what I like about your approach is that your 3 angles appeal to different demographics and creative tastes. You cover all your bases. It's very smartly done, and this approach can go places. I'm like, dude, appreciate
just what we were going for.
Appreciate the kind words. But that's not at all how we were thinking about this.
Dude.
It reminded me of of high school English class, or like AP English, where we're like trying to talk about symbolism and motifs of Shakespeare from 400 years ago. And it's like, no, the dude was just right.
He was cooking, dude.
He was just
by himself. Him and his boys just fucking throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah. I hate that post hoc symbolism bullshit.
It's
Paul Graham has a great essay on that. I can never.
Oh, I was about to cite myself, Peter Thiel, and you came with Paul Graham. That was another heavy hitter I wasn't expecting.
I think it's called How to Write. Or, no, it was a Paul Graham essay about why English class sucks. I think it was How to Write essay.
Huh. Well, since you don't have much more information than that, I'm going to go to my point, which Peter Thiel, his book 0 to 1, it's basically like
I'm listening, dude. 0 to 1.
No, I'm thinking.
Oh,
you're listening.
Well, yeah, I'm not looking at you, so I know you were thinking.
Yeah, no, I was looking straight up at the ceiling. I thought that would have conveyed something. But he's basically like Mr. Contrarian on everything. So like the whole book is just like his contrarian takes. And one of them is like in Silicon Valley, everyone's like, you want to fail. Like failure is good. Like you just fail fast, you learn things, and you apply going forward. He's like, no, dude, failure sucks.
It's
like
horrible.
You're out here, say you start a company and it fails. Not only is that demoralizing, like you're gonna fucking you don't have infinite shots on goal. You're gonna be like, that fucking sucks. I'd rather just take $500,000 a year at Microsoft. That's one pressure, and the other pressure is just like you don't really know why you failed. Like you can guess, but often it's like some crazy combination of 100 different factors, and you're just like, I think it's this one, but you could very well be completely wrong. Like that could work. That could be successful. You just pick the wrong thing, and now that's the lesson you take away, and it's just the wrong lesson. So same ideas, just like
what's his antidote, right? It's like actually learning from success. Learning from success is actually really valuable,
right? And how you
builds momentum
is by doing this like escape competition. Like don't compete in any way. I forgot about that, dude. Talk about us competing with SAT.
Yeah, roller coaster of emotions over here at Smart Nonsense.
Just to tie a bow on this CeraVe,
we didn't even finish the story. Which
were you looking for something?
No, finish. Go ahead.
Came up. Well, I was gonna I had my bow out.
You wrap a bow, and I'll see if it's a complete wrap, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I was never good at wrapping presents, so probably won't be complete. we had project number 1. Took a while to get our foot in the door, but now our foot's in the door, and now project 2 comes up, project 3, and this morning we get a potential project 4, and it's basically like we're wedged into CeraVe and starting L'Oreal, and like everyone is now seeing this tool and they're trying to just hammer everything with it.
Every day we
Which is
wake
us.
up, there's a new person or team from CeraVe asking for a quote on a new
Right. It's
project.
like, I don't know if you remember me, but I was on that one call in the background 3 months ago, and now I have a project that might be useful. Can you quote me?
And we're not even finished with project number 1. We're slammed on project number 2. It's me, Jack, and our editors are like, heads are spinning. They pitch us project number 3, the big one for the CEO. I wake up this morning and what's wrong with you? You got a sneeze?
I'm holding back a sneeze.
I wake up this morning, we're slammed on project 2, pitching project 3, and new person in CeraVe, who I actually don't remember, to be honest.
No.
Because, you know why I don't remember? Dude, their bureaucratic fucking email. Sorry. Going a little negative. But they have this whole system where all of their last names are in caps, capital letters, and then their names. And the threads are insane. Like, I don't know anybody's name because their last name is in caps.
I wonder if like foreigners have like middle names thrown in sometimes, so you got to like be able to differentiate.
It's it might be a surname. I'm sure there's a reason, and they all know how the system works, but I do not.
No, dude,
so that's why I don't know anyone's name. But yeah, project number 4.
It's sick, and your shorts are making more money than ever. So I think the potential energy, like
Short CPM, for anyone who cares. When we started, we were pretty early, I think, YouTube Shorts, and we were there when they unlocked monetization for Shorts. Our CPMs in our stupid smart nonsense niche were like 3 cents per 1,000 views. A year, 3 cents.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like fucking, I throw away.
So we do 100 million views. That's $3,000.
Yeah.
Wow. Crazy.
Really? Jesus.
Yeah.
That's fucking peanuts.
Crazy.
Dude.
It's up to a year and a half later now. It's like 15 cents.
Right. So you do 100 million views, which you're basically doing.
Have always kind of been doing
15K.
15 grand a month now instead of 3 grand a month.
So
which is pretty
almost paying our editors' salaries, which is
or
really
mine or anybody's at this point. Which is actually kind of crazy. Never mind. And I didn't do anything crazy. Like I posted in the last month 17 shorts. I think like
it's kind of a lot.
It's kind of a lot. In the past we posted 20. It's not like I posted 40 or 50.
I'll take a royal we, but I don't think I posted more than 5.
I mean, one thing I would still like to do is, and we will over time, but aim more for quantity in shorts. Can we cut our editing with our current team? Can we cut our editing time in half? And so long as we don't sacrifice too much quality, if we double views, that 15 grand a month becomes 30 grand a month.
Yeah.
That interests me.
So good on the shorts front. We're going to figure out a strategy. I'm bringing back the balls and I'm playing again. Agency front sick. Fucking that's ripping. The SAT had a realization this morning.
Might need an apology even.
You're right. Right. And this is, I mean,
this morning? Because that was at about 3 p.m. Eastern, no? This was like
I woke
2 hours
up at 11:30, so I don't know where I am. And then I went to hang out with Jack's friend. I don't want to talk about that.
It's not Jack's friend. It's a clipped client. Potential clipped client.
Yeah, but Jack's like, I like him a lot. You guys should go hang. So whatever. This morning, whatever you want to call it. We get
Can you just tell the claw machine? Can you just tell the claw machine story about that guy?
No.
Real quick.
He's awesome. This isn't like me saying bad things. He just took me to his favorite bar because we were just hanging out and we didn't have too much to talk about, so let's just walk around. He takes me to this bar and it's like this arcade, and he's pointing around things. They got like cool, crazy games. I'm like, that's awesome. He's like, you want to see something awesome?
He's a grown man, right?
See, it's like 30 something, probably 30.
Just be clear.
Look it over there. See how those games? You see those claw machines? I'm like, yeah. It's like, come over here, look at it. I'm like, that prize right there. PS4, I won it. PS5, sorry, 5. PS5, I won it. And then this
like last week,
lady,
right?
this lady that works there heard him and she's like, "Oh, Ian, how's that PS5?" It's just like everyone knows he it was some you had to cut the string game. I don't know what the fuck it was.
I didn't
The
know anyone.
PS5
There's
dropped.
like a window, right? And your scissors goes up and down, and when you hit the
Is that
button,
how it works?
it goes in, and you got to get it in the window and
Oh, I
hope you cut
fucking
the
got it in
string.
the window, dude.
I didn't know anyone ever won those. So
no, dude, that's why talk of the town over there. It was sick. So no, that's just my morning or my afternoon, wherever we are. So I come back. First thing I get is a message from you. You send a frame link, and you're like, "Yo, check this out. Shit bangs." Paraphrasing. We go in. It's our SAT video course. Krishna, who's running that company, basically, she and Koi worked on this VSL. It's like the
a
landing
little
page
bit of
video, I guess.
everyone. Yeah, Krishna had a landing page video. We're like, let's revamp it because it's such an important video. You threw some bare bones script ideas at us. I kind of wrote the little thing. Krishna had a nice analogy. She took it home, and then,
dude, it was Christmas morning. Literally by the end of this video, it's Christmas afternoon. We're a minute in, and I'm like, dude, I'm pulling out my wallet. I'm like,
this thing we're talking about yesterday and for the previous week, we don't want to compete product wise. Right. We want to get into the smart nonsense gamified SAT prep. We watched this video and we're like, take my money. And also, I really want to compete in SAT prep because that product looks amazing.
It was last week we had a call and I'm like, fuck all this stuff. We don't need to make money. We're just going to make a marginally better course. That's not exciting. Let's make a game. And now I see this marginally better course and I'm like, I like that. That looks fucking awesome.
Stamp of approval on the marginally better course that it actually looks really, really nice.
I mean, I just forget that Koi isn't marginal. He's magnitudinal.
I think because of our standards, especially yours, we forget how impressive Koi's video is and how important packaging is for product.
Well, I went single-handedly, I think we both went from our course is beat to, oh my God, we're just showing in the video the course on the inside. I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. How it's laid out and you have all these practice problems with explanations for each problem. I'm like, my God, let me sign up. And it's the same product. Now it's just we see it with the new lens. So that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And we're going to take an app is going to take probably 6 months to get something viable out the door if we're cranking on it. So in the meantime, it's
plus,
hey,
who knows if it works? It might take some pivots, might be a slow start, might not end up being what we think.
Right.
And it gets back to one of those, what Krishna's doing with Future Admit SAT, it's working.
Right.
And what I always get back to is don't interrupt compounding unnecessarily. Yeah. It's working. She's got some dials she wants to turn. We can revamp video.
Well, that's why I'm
do that in the background.
Competing is gonna definitely make us the best, maybe a couple $1,000,000 a year in profit company. It's that's kind of fucking sick. So don't mind competing. I don't mean to shit on that. I'm kind of just in the moonshot mindset of if we're trying to make $100 million or $1 billion, it's gonna have to be an app. But we don't necessarily gotta do that. At least we can do both. I was listening to the Zynga founder, and he was on Masters of Scale podcast. Reid Hoffman, he's the LinkedIn guy, PayPal guy. They were talking about, or the Zynga guy was talking about games. Pretty much you should trust your intuition 95% of the time. This game, this if it feels good, it has potential. Like there's something there, but your actual idea for what like the manifestation of that, it's only gonna hit like 25% of the time max. So like we kind of have this feeling of like a game in SAT will work. That feeling is right, basically, is what he's saying, assuming you have decent intuition, which who knows if we have. But like the actual like what is the game? Is it trivia? Is it like one-on-one trivia? Is it async sync? Like that fucking who knows? 25% could be 5%. So it doesn't we're not sure what that's going to be. He's basically like games are just portfolio theory where you just try and get a bunch of them and like one's going to hit. So I don't know. It's definitely dicier. But yeah, in the meantime, maybe we figure out because for that game, what we want to do is like you're battling friends, but when you like get problems wrong, you'll have stats on like, oh, I'm getting a lot of trigonometry wrong. Let me go and watch the trigonometry videos. And it's like nice animated smart nonsense style explainers. And then you can come back and play the game. Since we have to do sort of a video course already for that, can we just kind of like merge, just build the course out as the app's going and like it works for both.
And the course that's already working could fund more of the app. Like it's revenue generating.
Yeah. The nice thing is, yeah, if we don't need to give equity to anybody, equity can be good too for like a CTO or something to be incentivized. But if we don't have to,
cash.
We're making cash. So that was exciting, making me question some things. Because goddamn, I don't like competing unless you're actually the best. And it's like, well, we're actually the best. So if we're gonna win that game, might as well fucking
play it
a little bit.
And so like even Jack now. So I told Jack on these like ad agency things, these big high ticket things, they're just ramping up, and like this is the ramp up. I'm like, me and Jack and all these editors we're pulling around can only do this a little longer.
Right.
And so Jack's already talking to like a really good sales guy. He knows that we know from childhood that worked at his last company that hates it because it's big corporate Goldman Sachs. Yeah, there's just, it's nice when you see these little balls. And I started to feel like, oh, wow, like I couldn't before, but now I can kind of understand how Gary Vaynerchuk creates a VaynerMedia.
Right.
Just by like finding great people, keeping them in their avenue, and then slowly growing. Also, I texted this kid, my sister just texted. This is like that nice, oh my God, like, I don't know what kind of luck it is, like fourth kind of luck, whatever, where we're doing smart nonsense, right? And my sister sees that or knows about it and helps connect these dots. Like she was texting this morning, oh, I have this friend from high school that I know, me, Henry. He's also kind of a neighbor. He wrote on the high school newspaper. He went to Brown, where we went. He wrote for the Brown Noser, the satire newspaper. He's moved to San Francisco looking for jobs. He's trialing to write on The Onion. And I'm like, we need him. Like, let me text it, and it's like.
Right. I never actually thought about hitting up Brown Noser.
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I searched his name, and the first thing that came up was like, I won't say his name, Brown Noser. And I was like, ah. And then I go and I read all his articles. His headlines are hilarious. And yeah, so we've been talking about like Harvard Lampoon and whatnot, but it's like, oh, but we already have like, we have one at our school.
Probably got their own. Stanford too, potentially. Like those.
He hasn't responded to me though.
Good thing I have this.
Yeah, those are sick sirens, dude.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It is one thing that like we've never tapped our audience for hiring, which is kind of crazy, because like probably a lot of them would want to work on this sort of stuff. I guess we've just never had like enough money to hire anybody, so it was like,
well, right now it feels like a early startup. Or I think Paul Graham talks about this, but like you're not going out and necessarily finding the best talent. You're going and like finding friends that are dumb enough to like want to work with you on the thing because it's so early. Right. I guess the nice thing is it gets back to that working with family and friends where I think like if and when it works, it's you just know. Yeah. Like this big agency guy, we're considering working on sales with us. We've known him he was literally our babysitter as a kid, 20 some odd years. It's just like, You can just get right to work. You don't have to do all that trust building and like figuring out who they are, how they are.
I mean, at least my family's tapped, so that's like good luck. If we need a roof on our building, my brother can do that. But and our friends are pretty tapped too. But like, you still got some network squeeze on your end. That's I guess we can tap.
They come out of the woodwork. They're even like my sister's friend, for instance. That's one removed. It's not someone I know that well.
True. So that's all awesome. Good for us. It's heating up.
It's incredible to be us.
Yeah. Still working out of a closet and
making no money.
Oh, I'll give you another Chinese parable if you want one. Yesterday, there's bad weather right now in New York. And so I haven't been able to play tennis. And one of my buddies, he's like, "Wow, really sucks that we can't go hit. Like, that's annoying." I'm like, yeah, it is. But then on my way to the studio, this closet where I'm at, I drive by the tennis courts and I see, because the weather is bad, no one is playing tennis.
Yep.
I'm like, normally there's a 3-hour wait to play tennis. Now it's just go on the court. It's like, pros and cons, dude. You don't know if it's good. You don't know if it's bad.
Soaking wet? Are they playable, the courts?
No, yesterday was just like it wasn't wet. It was just meh.
Oh, so it was playable.
Kind of totally playable.
Yeah. Some might call that you don't even have to Chinese parable it, but maybe like a silver lining. Some might say.
Well, Chinese parable, you might need like 1 or 2 more steps in the process, but
was it the same parable, the maybe parable?
It could have been, because he's like, "Wow, it really sucks," and I'm like, "Yeah, maybe. It's really good." But then maybe I get out there and go.
Gardaloo! That's it, Pop.